Hi, Nicole Christopherson with NMC Realty Group. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Ask NMC. Today I have Madison, one of our team members with me, and we are going to be discussing some key components to a 1031 exchange and what that process entails. So with regards to a borrower or a buyer, there are very important timeframes to take into consideration and that we definitely don't hold lightly and we keep in tune with throughout our entire transaction with our client. Tell them a little bit more about what the timeframes are.
So there's a couple really important timeframes when it comes to a 1031 exchange. Being a buyer, when you're in this situation, you technically have unlimited amount of time until the day you close on your property. From the day you close on your original property, you have a solid 45 days to identify either one or as many new properties as you qualify.
But if you want to qualify for multiple, they can't equal more than 200% of the property you sold. So that's a factor to take into consideration. So once they've identified it that 45 days, what's the other date from the time they close they need to be aware of?
Right, so after that 45 days, once you close on the original property, you have 180 days to identify and then close on your new property.
Yeah, so just to recap that, you're selling a property, you have unlimited time to do your research on where you want to buy or exchange to. All right, if you want to exchange to 1, 2, 3 properties, the total of the properties you're exchanging to cannot exceed 200%. From the day your property sells and you close escrow or you close on that transaction, your time clock starts and you have 45 days to write down your identified properties. And from the day that property closes, you have 180 days to close. So some other really important things that we have found are benefiting our borrowers and our clients right now that are in 1031 exchange scenarios is the value of being on a team. So take it away. How many properties are we showing to some of our clients right now who are?
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of our clients who are in this situation, you know, they're looking all over the city in different areas. They have different interests in different types of properties. So it's really important to have multiple people on your team, not only to show, you know, the multiple properties all over the city, but also to have the team of knowledge that comes with that, with the different areas. So it's really great if you're looking for different types of properties or maybe in a different area, not all just together.
A lot of investors are trying to differentiate their investment portfolio. They know that where the demographic is expanding and what's happening with development in the areas. And so they're wanting to differentiate their locations. So the value of our team and everybody having area knowledge in different, north, south, east, western regions is really helping our client right now. Also knowing the future development phases and what's happening in those areas is bringing great value to our client as well. So thank you so much for all your help. It's definitely a learning process because you have to collaborate with a lot of other people other than just your client and the agents you're showing, their listings and stuff. There's a couple other people that are really important that we communicate with along the process. And who are those people, Madison?
So there are definitely other people besides the great agents you're going to be working with. The lender, of course, is an important role, being able to determine, what your availability is as far as pricing goes that you can afford. And
not all investors have financing, but if they do, we definitely want to keep in touch with their lender because they're going to be checking out how these properties positively net for our investors, for rentability and just for their portfolio as well. So lender is definitely important, but there's another important factor that facilitates these types of transactions.
Yes, and as far as the lender, there's another super important person, the
accommodator.
Yes.
Is going to be very important because the accommodator is the one that's in charge of fulfilling the obligations of a 1031 and making sure the funds are in a secure place for our investor so there's no tax implications, because obviously the number one benefit of somebody facilitating a 1031 exchange is avoiding any tax implications, obviously, building their investment portfolio, but avoiding tax implications and being able to roll their investment into a new one is really important. So we're excited to be collaborating on this. We always enjoy working with the other vendors like the accommodator and lenders to make sure these things work for our clients, and it takes a team. So if you have any more questions about a 1031 exchange investment or the process, we'd be happy to answer the questions that we can, but we do have trusted professionals that are, unique to this type of transaction, specifically our accommodators that would better answer questions for you, or even a CPA. So we will do the best we can on our end to build your knowledge about the real estate market in the areas that you're looking to invest, and then we have our trusted professionals we can lean you towards to get those other questions answered. So thank you so much, Madison, for sharing our experience right now. And thank you for joining us for another episode of Ask NMC. Stay tuned for more.